a little bit too much of a belief in Stamen's ability to survive the early onslaught from Damon Blackshear, I should say. Damon is probably the white version of Damon, if I'm being honest. But regardless, we have to rip up our dog of the night. Take it there. I had some solid confidence on Stamen. I went 2.5 units deep on him there, as I thought he'd be able to stop the early onslaught from Blackshear and really start to pull away in the second and third rounds with his defensive grappling. But Blackshear landed some big shots and eventually opened up that submission opportunity that was able to get him the victory. Credit to Blackshear, and unfortunately for us, we have to rip up that ticket. We went 0-3 on the weekend on Dog of the Night plays over the course of the UFC and the other two regional shows, so that now brings our Dog of the Night record to 45-80 with a minus 12.58 unit deficit and a minus 10% ROI. Again, we started the year in a pretty big hole with the Dog of the Night plays, managed to climb out of it a little bit, but the last couple of weeks have not been the greatest for Dog of the Night plays, and we're now back, like I said, to roughly around that minus 12.5 unit mark. Again, we're not going to stop though. We're going to continue to go, and we'll eventually get back out of that hole. Might have to end the year in the red, but we're going to try to work out of that. Not going to chase any losses here. Not going to, shoot on bigger dogs just to try to overcome that deficit here. We're just going to stay the course and hopefully get back into that black and into the green. So yeah, got another 3 Dog of the Night plays. Choose to follow or fade, completely up to you, considering the lackluster performance I've been having with Dog of the Night plays. Only one of these 3 will be the official Dog of the Night candidate or official Dog of the Night play. Doesn't mean, again, I'll be playing all 3. Only one of these can be the Dog of the Night. All right, let's get right into it. First one up is going to be Chris Weidman at plus 100 as he goes up against Eric Anders. Now, both these guys are quite flaky, but I do, or at least was impressed with Weidman's performance last time around against Bruno Silva, showcasing that even if he can't get his wrestling going, he can get the cage clinch going, get some damage off there. But even with his striking, he's a lot more confident in his hands now, and he's being a little bit more assertive with his volume and with his intentions, which led him to pretty much sweep Bruno Silva on the scorecards until the ending there with the eye poke and all that mishap that happened there. But regardless, with all the eye poking out of the equation, I thought we saw some really good work from Weidman and showcased that he can still perform at a decent level. Not at a championship level, but depending on the level of opponent he's going up against, he can still come out with his hand raised, and I think he has a good enough performance or stylistic clash here against Eric Anders to come out on top. So as long as his durability issues, hold firm, hasn't been knocked out since 2019, which was against a light heavyweight in Dominic Reyes. If that durability can continue to hold up here against Anders, he should be able to dictate the pace and win this fight on the scorecards. The second Dog of the Night candidate is going to be Jonathan Martinez, coming in at plus 115 as he goes up against Marcus McGee, who's, again, the new toy on the block, going out there, finishing 3 of his opponents by knockout, finished all 9 of his wins by inside the distance. I think Martinez, and this matchup particularly, showcases the recency bias nature of the MMA betting game. You're talking about Jonathan Martinez, who was a favorite against Jose Aldo, and then that was a spot where I ended up betting Aldo and coming out on top. But that just goes to show, everybody was kind of writing off Aldo coming back from retirement, high on the Jonathan Martinez train because of his the streak that he had going into that matchup. And now that he lost to a legend like Jose Aldo, who had the perfect stylistic class to nullify the kicking game of Martinez, now he's all of a sudden an underdog to a guy that's still trying to make his mark in the UFC. I don't get it. So I'm going to go with Martinez. I think he avoids the big power of McGee. I think he chips away at the leg. I think he slows down McGee, starts to let go with his hands, and eventually win this fight on the scorecards. Again, got to take some advantage of some of this recency bias, especially when you get guys as underdogs, as talented as Martinez, you got to pull the trigger. So he is the second Dog of the Night candidate. The third and final Dog of the Night candidate is actually going to be against a prediction that I had on the full card breakdown that I dropped yesterday, but still worthy of an underdog poke here, and Michael Chandler, who comes in at plus 215. He's going up against Charles Oliveira in a rematch of a fight that took place in May of 2021, where Charles Oliveira was able to get it was a club and drum victory, finishing him in the opening seconds of the second round. But it seems like a lot of people have forgotten how that first round went, with 2 judges scoring that round 10-8 in Chandler's favor and showcasing that he has the power to put on Oliveira and potentially put him away. Had he not engaged in the grappling after dropping Oliveira, he possibly could have come away with the victory that night, as he had Oliveira on wobbly legs. We even saw Chandler get put in some bad spots with the grappling, but stayed safe, got back to his feet, and eventually started to put the hurting on Oliveira with the speed and power that he brings to the table. Oliveira, again, probably the crisper striker, more dangerous fighter overall, but it does not warrant him being a minus 240 favorite in this matchup. I think Chandler at plus 215, plus 210 is more than worthy of taking a shot here and potentially being a dog of the night play for us, especially considering how wide the odds are and considering how much power he brings to the table and what he was able to accomplish in the first round of their matchup. Let's see if he can replicate that and actually come through and get his hand raised here, but he is definitely worthy of a dog of the night consideration. There you guys go. Top 3 dog of the night candidates for UFC 309. I will be back tomorrow for a ton of segments. We're going to go quick picks tomorrow, and then we're going to do the free parlay and the 3 best prop bets. I'll see you guys then. Peace.